Sofaygo recently released his newest project, that being his Go EP. Now, in past videos, I have been critical of Sofaygo, saying he had lost tons of hype from waiting to release Pink Hearts for over a year and a half after announcing it. But Sofaygo finally has started learning from that mistake and dropped a new project just 7 months after Pink Hearts. This EP, in my opinion, was nothing crazy. However, I did find myself enjoying a decent amount of the songs. My personal favorites were Pier, F a Post, On the Moon, and Backseat. Now, those weren't the only songs I liked. I enjoyed most of the project. The only song I found myself skipping almost every single time was For Some. There's just something about that beat on that song that just feels off to me. But overall, I really enjoyed the song. Sofaygo was able to mix his Pink Hearts sound and his old sound he had with After Me. In my opinion, he did this really well. You could tell he still has that more mature tone to his voice, as well as sounding more Cactus Jack style. But with the beats, Sofaygo strayed away from what he did with Pink Hearts. He saw the success of Hell Yeah on Pink Hearts and pretty much only went rage or hyperpop or whatever you want to call it on this EP. On the Moon specifically was sonically amazing to me. I love the way Benny X and Sofaygo combined it on this song. This EP was a great step in the right direction for Sofaygo. He listened to what fans were criticizing him for and came back with a project full of bangers. However, I do see one problem with this EP, and that is I don't see any of these songs becoming hits like Hell Yeah. It's possible one goes crazy on TikTok, but I just don't see that happening. At the same time, I do think Sofaygo was trying to please his core fan base with this EP, so he made those songs that he knew would make them happy. However, I think what Sofaygo was trying to do with Pink Hearts was go mainstream and be the next Don Toliver. But ultimately that didn't work out, or at least it hasn't so far. But Sofaygo does have a huge core fan base, and they made huge noise when they were disappointed with Pink Hearts, starting narratives about Sofaygo being up next, and just straight up clowning him. But with this EP, he really focused on pleasing those fans. And personally, I really like that he did that. Now, I want to talk about what's next for Sofaygo after this EP. And I know it seems early, but like I've said in other videos, I think this EP was just a step to blow Sofaygo up even more this year. For Cactus Jack, Sofaygo really needs to redeem himself in that situation, because right now, he's the only guy who hasn't been able to go truly mainstream. Now that the EP is out, and seems to have gotten pretty good reception from fans, I see Sofaygo going into album mode now, because hopefully he has a feature on Utopia, which Utopia should be coming sometime this summer. And Utopia will be a massive moment for Travis Scott and Cactus Jack. You saw how much Astroworld helped Don Toliver get to where he is at now. And I see Utopia being that same stepping stone for Sofaygo. And after Utopia, Sofaygo should ideally have an album ready by winter this year. I could see an end of the year Sofaygo album with tons of hype. However, this all has to go to plan and work out correctly. Who knows if Travis Scott is even having Sofaygo on Utopia. But Travis Scott wants to stop the narrative being spread that Opium is better than Cactus Jack, if I had to guess. And if I was Travis Scott, I'd have Sofaygo on Utopia and make sure he brings his absolute best. So overall, this EP was a huge great step in the right direction for Sofaygo. It seems most of the people who listened enjoyed this EP, and for Sofaygo, that is great considering how he has been getting talked about. In my opinion, I could see Sofaygo becoming that mainstream guy he wanted to be with Pink Hearts with this next album. Like I said, he's got to prove himself on Utopia if given a feature. And if he does deliver on Utopia if given a feature, Sofaygo will have gained so many new fans that he'll have a whole new audience that never even cared about the Pink Hearts situation. With that, he'll have hype once again and can release another album. I do wonder what the theme for a new album for Sofaygo would be, because Go just seems to be a compilation of a bunch of hype songs. What I did like about Pink Hearts was that he did have a cohesive theme about his come up in the industry and how he got to the point where he's at now. But we will see how it plays out for Sofaygo over the next few months. First things first, he needs to get that Utopia feature and absolutely drop some heat. To end this video, I just asked the question, if Sofaygo does get a feature on Utopia, Do you think people will forget the meme of Sofaygo being up next? Of course, the feature needs to be good, but I'm just assuming that Travis Scott will make sure everything is great. In my opinion, I do think the meme will go away because, like I said earlier, the new amount of fans, but we will see. Let me know what you think of this take, and let me know what you thought of Sofaygo's new EP Go. Thanks for watching.